Howdy and welcome back. There's been a few changes since our last episode, and we're also going to use today's episode to kickstart our major factory builds. Because I realized I need a lot of tough and a lot of andesite. And as you can see, I also installed a mailbox finally. Who knows, maybe someday we'll get some fan mail or some letters or packages. Hopefully no invoices. Anyways, let me show you what I've done in between episodes, and we'll talk about what we're gonna do today. So, our mining drill is put back together, and we still have our paving machine set up, but I did change out the underside ballast area for tough. Because I was walking and I was looking down and I'm like, it all looks the same. So, a little different, nothing major. Um, But yeah, so we got our mining drill that we used to gather some resources for that. And that's when I realized that I didn't have enough materials readily available. Thus, why we're starting these major factories. But as you can see over here, I also set up a log stripper and casing machine. And then upstairs, I also set up a place to sand down our rose quartz. And this is using Enchantment Industry mod. So instead of having to sit there with sandpaper every like 7 or 8 of them, switch to a new piece, we just load it up and let it go. Starting to use more of our space up here as much as we can. So I've gathered the items we should need today. Oh, there's that glitch again. I finally figured out why I've been doing a glitch, because I need to unassign a carry-on part, I'm guessing, because I'm trying to carry a backpack. But let's try that again. Put it down. No. No. Well, while I try to pick up this backpack, depending on how long it takes, this is going to make an amazing blooper reel. Hmm. That is so strange. I have never had... There we go. So I guess it's a distance thing. If it's anywhere like right in front and I go to try to pick it up, it does carry on. But if it's further away, I can just normally pick it up. It's a pain, but it is what it is. So anyways, yeah, today's builds. Even though we really don't need that much iron at the moment, we will need more of it. And I've actually shut down that iron farm over there. For the most part. I left the water wheels because it looks nice. But we are going to build today a 3-part farm, which will actually supply a lot of other resources too. So I've already laid out a few different pads here that we're going to try to work within. So our end goal over the next couple episodes is to get tough and andesite alloy made up over in this space. But on this space right here, we're going to go ahead and do a cobble gen. But we're also going to take that and make a gravel farm, an iron farm, and we're going to also make sand out of it too. Which, with a few of these other items, we get the byproducts, which we need for our other farms in factories. So, I laid out a little bit of a rough idea on what I want to do. And I did toy around with this a little bit in creative on a creative test world. And I have to say, even though it looked great, I wasn't happy with it in the end. So I'm scrapping my plan that I did in the creative test world. And we're going to try to do something here. Maybe a little similar, but we'll see. And also, thank you to all those people who are watching. Don't forget to like this and subscribe if you can. It really does help, even if you just have it playing in the background. It's definitely a big help, and let me know what content you'd like to see on this channel in terms of factory builds. Like, what other items should I automate next? Anyways, let's get down to business. So I'm going to leave these blocks in place for now, just so we have an idea on where we're going to put our cobble gen. And we're going to start by building the legs of the cobble gen. Which for that, I did make up some industrial iron and weathered iron. Because I figure at the bottom and probably at the top, we should have a little weathering from the heat and then just sitting near the floor. So we'll probably go 2 with that. And then 1, 2. And then we'll go 1 more there. So that should give us enough height to put a vault in and also to have our crushing wheels for part of this. And with that being said, let's break out the scaffolding because we are definitely gonna need it. Hmm. Here we go. We did what? 2, 2, and 1. And we'll also texture this later on and add a building around it. I figure we need to get the farm up and running so we can keep building out our railways and making more create components. Okay. Now for the vault that we're going to put down below it, I wanted to try to do a 3x3, and knowing that our belts are going to pretty much run along this line here, crushing wheels will go in this line, so there'll be another chute there for the most part, so we'll probably end up building it right on top of here. I might have underestimated our vaults. Give me 1 moment and I will bring you back in. Bring you back in once we have more vaults made. See you in a moment. What was probably a short time for you was actually a couple minutes for me. But we got 'em. Let's keep building. Oh, wait. Oh, I was in the way. There we go. With 3 left over. Look at that. We might need those 3 later on anyways. Okay, so right up here is where we're gonna have our crushing, not our crushing, our drills set up. So we'll go ahead and grab our drills. We'll also grab the metal we're gonna use for the outer edges of our cobble gen area. And shoots. That's what we're looking for. So right in the center here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we got our drills. Okay. And before we go any further with that, actually, I have the water on me we need. We got, the only thing I don't have is the cobblestone right here. But we can figure that out in a minute. See, I think I might have some over here. So I did also set up a little temporary storage area for all the stuff that we necessarily won't be utilizing fully, like the extra cobblestone we mine with our mining drills. Just so that there's an area outside of my main inventory, because I just didn't want to clog it all up. Now we can place these right on top like so. Then we'll bring back our other metal blocks. And now that we have that set, let's go ahead and break out the hot stuff that we need. 1, 2, and 3. Now, even though that's not full source blocks, if that's still moving, it will still be fine. I can always come back up here and fill those in if we need to. So with that part done, that takes care of the upper part for the most. So in my test world, I did use smart chutes, but I don't think I'm going to use that here yet. But we're going to have a smart chute set up there. And let's go ahead and get our buckets out of here and put some stuff away. And our crushing wheels. So that will be for our gravel. And then the next set over, which I am going to space these out a little bit more. Just because if I do switch it out to smart chutes, having them right next to each other, one redstone signal activates both. And I don't know if we really want to activate both at the same time. So this will be for our iron line. And then right here, this one's going to be a little different. Because we're going to start it up here. Just like the other ones. But instead of going right into crushing wheels, we are actually going to go into a millstone first. Which I do know it is a little slower. But this is more for sand when we need to make glass and stuff along that nature. And this will probably require me digging out below here a little bit. Although, we'll have to see how it just drops, because we might be able to get away with just a belt under it. But that's the basis of how we're going to do it. So we got our gravel, iron farm side, and sand. But when you think about it, each one of these sets is going to use up about 1,000 stress units each. So the other option is to split it. So have it come down off of one, split it amongst different processes. I think we're going to stick with this for simplicity wise. And we'll see how it works. We can always return to this and change it up. And I grabbed the wrong shoe. Okay, so we're going to get our first belt line in right here. And this one's going to pretty much just go all the way down to here for now. We'll mess with this area once we get it started. But that's just going to be for gravel. And then let's go ahead and pick this area up. So So right under here, we'll have our iron farm one, which will come off of here. And it takes about 5 blocks or so. So I'm just going to put a torch down for the moment, because I want to set up where our fan is going to go. Because I do have a few different setups we could do, but ideally I would like to just try to keep it to one fan if I can. But it doesn't always work that way. So we'll have our water, and then right back here on the outside of the building, we'll have our fan. So we'll end up waterlogging that copper grate, and that will allow us to have a nice flow of washing down the belt for about most of what we'll need. And let's go ahead and get rid of this while we're at it. Less in the way. And originally this was just going to be like a cobble deposit. I added the sand in last minute because I just wanted to challenge it a little bit. So the sand and stuff, because it's not really going to do much more, it's just going to come right out of there and into a vault right here. And hopefully that's not an issue. And then we just got to figure out powering the crushing wheels, which I might be able to do from this side and just run it through. Okay, so for this, we know we need at least 5 spaces before it gets to any point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we went 6. We're gonna go 7. Come on. Never wants to turn the way that you want it to. So that's our main wash line. And then coming off of this, this is where we're going to have our flint. And it's going to come to the same point as our gravel for the next 2 farms. So now that we got that basic setup already, and we can actually add one more chute here. That way there we don't have floating items. I'm going to go ahead and put a shaft in there. I'm going to wait to do that one. So I guess before we power our drills, we should do a rotation check on these, which means we need to route power, which that looks to be the closest utility pole I have set up. These opposite directions. One side has to be a gearbox, and the other side has to be a shaft, if I'm correct. Let's get rid of the extras we don't need at the moment. So one gearbox, one shaft, and then I could actually, I might be able to just get away with, where is it? Chain drives. So I'll hook this one up in a minute, because I also need to put a gearbox in to drive that. So back to the backpack. Cog wheels. Keep hitting the wrong button. Gotta love it. So with that pretty much hooked up for those, let's go ahead and just temporarily hook up the power to see its rotation. So we'll need our shafts. We're just gonna come off of here a minute with a gearbox, and we'll just place this below for easy access. Overstressed. I knew this day would come. Let's see what we have going on. Oh, and I did also swap these out for blaze burners, so... Oh yeah, just a little overstressed. That we can easily fix. I could even... You know what? Let's grab the supplies needed and put in 2 more engines, because we got these back here. So I can put a couple more pumps in. Let me just take care of these real quick so they don't connect. Still overstressed. Why are we overstressed? This one's idle. That would be why. Yep. Just like the first time. Let's do that. Here we go. Barely enough. What I need to do... The hard part about building compact is when you want to see something, you can't see what you're looking for. So I have that gearbox there to drive that. These need to be connected, but they need to go opposite. But what if we break that, put in another gearbox here. No, not that way. No. And then with that, turn it. And see if it's not facing the right way. There we go. No, that's going the opposite way we need it to go. Because we just reversed it to reverse it. In case you're wondering, chain drives can reverse your rotation also. Let's start with it completely disconnected. What I could do is instead drive it out one more. I never said it was gonna look pretty. We will move this over right about here. Okay, I'll bring you guys back in once I get the rotation figured out, and I will show you what I did. Okay, we are back. I got the rotation figured out. After a long night, sleeping on it, also getting rid of the rain, setting up temporary power right next to a speed controller, I now have them turning in the right direction. So we're going to power it from this side here in the end. But we got them going the right way. At least, yeah. I love how I had to double check that after double checking it. So pretty much the fan and belts will run off of the normal speed. That's why I wasn't too worried about linking those in right now. The main concern is getting all the mechanisms, the mechanics in place to make this function properly. And it does, look at that. So we got almost all our processes ready. Just gotta set the fan up and our collection and compounding area. But we're almost over the main hurdle. Now to just hook up the fan. Hmm. And I just hope that this all goes the right way. No, it's gonna already go the wrong way. I'm gonna need to put a, well, actually I'm putting a gearbox in here. That's gonna, let's go ahead and flip this. Remove that. Put that. And then what I could do is pull this back. Do we have any more gearboxes? We don't. But I can make some more cogs. That's why I grabbed extra. You never know. So we're gonna go right here. That is going the wrong way. Okay, that's an easy fix. What I can do is can I a little bit of a mess back here. But let's see if wrong button. Okay, that's spinning, and it's the right way. Okay. We have pretty much everything set down here. I guess that's not too much of a mess. We'll just have to extend the building out and figure out that. But let's go ahead now down here. And I don't have a water bucket, so let's grab some water. Okay, so that only is going 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we start this up, we'll see if that's enough or if we're going to have to add in another fan up above blowing down. Should be. We might be able to speed that up too if needed. Now to just get those lined up with a few things and bring that right to there. That should work. So, trusty scaffolding. Oh, there we go. Again, this is why I tend to use dirt over scaffolding. Okay, and just before we hook that in, we will sort out the storage for it and compacting of it. Is we're going to need to put a tunnel here, or actually, yeah, because otherwise I'd have to put a buffer just to get the flint out, and it's just as easy, I think, to make a tunnel. Maybe not so much. Don't know if I have any of those. And I think something else we might look at doing down the road is putting all the power in like a sewer pipe right under the main roads. But where were we? Oh yeah, funneling. So we can put that one there. Can't do anything till we get the flint. Why is that? Till we get the flint. And then from here, we'll need to compact it, which will be, get rid of all the extras we don't need out at the moment. Okay, so I got my basin, and there it is. Again, not having these memorized like I used to, I'm relearning. So we figure it's a 1 up to down ratio, but I gotta run a belt below it. So I gotta go over 2, which I don't have any dirt blocks left. Gravel it is. have that coming into there. Oh, you're gonna take this if I just do it like that. One of these days I will not hit the wrong button. Oh, I gotta go up one more. Okay. Not a problem. It's worth it in the end. So now we have our cobble gen set up. We got our... Those are going the wrong direction. Why did those go the wrong direction? Oh boy. Oh, I know why. Because I swapped that for some reason, forgetting that that's separate from that. Glad we looked. So, can't bring that down there. What I can do is bring it down... like so. Which I think I'm gonna run short again, possibly. And this I can just put a shaft right there. Yes. And same with right there. At least we have power options if we do anything else over here. And we have enough stress for that? Holy smokes. Okay, let's go ahead and get a couple more funnels on, actually. Well, yeah, we can use these ones for now because they're not gonna be high quantities at first. Now the only thing we have to see is if this works like I think it... Oh, didn't power that one. Why not? Oh, why is that going the... Why? I inverted that to get the belt going. But that's off of that. So... take that away. Maybe do that and this. Yes. Every now and then, I get a brainstorm. I just need to be able to clutch this too easily. So let's grab our clutch. Where'd it go? Clutch and lever. I want it on at first. Gearbox is in. Okay, again, this isn't going to be super quick, but let's see how it works. Oh yeah, definitely not super quick. There we go. Just want to make sure everything comes down like it should. Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Gonna pick that up a second. 'cause I don't know if anything will come down this one yet. But yeah, we're already getting sand. Beautiful. I don't think anything... No, nothing made it this way yet. So what we're gonna do is throw this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nope. Okay. So that's what I thought. We're gonna need to add in a couple more fans, which, truthfully, that's not the hard part. That is the easy part. Well, till I hook them up to power. Luckily, we just need to put right there, there, and there. And then get our fans. Oh. Okay, if you guys know the trick to hitting these in the right spot, let me know. Okay. So I know we don't have enough encased chain drives. But I wonder, could I... This is going to be a big could. It might look really goofy at first. But is it possible? It is. Okay. Now I just need to extend this out. This way, because I want it running off the belt power. Ah, stuck. Now if I were to come off of here, and I could actually just run it right off of there. Should be able to. Assuming I have the gearbox to do it. As you can see, you'll get a lot of funny commentary from me in my videos. So if you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And as soon as I figure it out, I will also be streaming over on Twitch. My link is going to be in the video description soon, and also it's in my main profile here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's see. Really? Is that? Yep, going the wrong way. I wonder if I were to say, let's try this instead. Run it off of here. How about now? No, it's still the wrong way. Okay. As much as I hate doubling up on gearboxes, for the sake of this video, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna double up on a gearbox. Mainly because I'll come back through later and clean this up a little bit more. But we want to know if this is actually going to work. Now we just need water again. 3 buckets of water coming right up. Oh my goodness. I am so forgetful. Thinking I didn't have an infinite water source over here. I do. Now again, this is not the highest producing cobble farm you could probably build, but for what I'm doing in my world, it is definitely what I need right now. And I can always go back, just like you can. We can readjust it, add more drills, add a second unit that feeds into it, build it to the sky. Essentially with create, the sky's the limit. That should, hopefully, do the trick. Let's see if the gravel will process in time. So it comes down, lands on the belt. And we'll get one of 2 items, hopefully. Or not get an item. Again, I guess not every piece gets you what you want. Hopefully, yes, although it's going into the wrong bin. Filter! Let's go ahead and flip it on. So before we do that, let's see if we can get it up to 32 without too much. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to work out the power on the next episode. What about 20? Okay. And real quick, just to catch the gravel over here. And then we can do the same for the moment for the flint. Wrong buttons. Buttons, buttons, buttons. Everywhere. There we go. And we'll go ahead and just throw this right back here like so. So this is already, let's see, emptying out as it comes, which is fine. Something else we can also do is I can pull that and we can put trapdoors too for now. Which we'll probably go ahead and do. Let's see, do I have one on me? I do. Look at that. Coming prepared. sort of. We'll pull that. And this is where the smart chute would definitely come in handy. But yeah, these items will just back up for now. But yeah, looks like we have done it. We created a multi-purpose farm for not only cobblestone, iron, gravel, flint, sand, and even clay. So we'll get this encased once we build the other portion of it, because this is going to be one huge factory line in the end. But thank you for joining me for part 1, and enduring the stressful units that we had to deal with. So until next time, I'll see you guys back here. Keep crafting. And I guess I gotta go figure out a power problem.